Yo, hoop fans! Your sideline sage, Tips and Upstreams, is lacing up once again. On deck, deep dives into the freshest NBA clashes, ready to set the planks ablaze. But before we jump the ball, be sure to hammer that subscribe on our YouTube channel to keep hooked with our sharp forecasts and prime selections. All right, let's bounce into today's NBA crystal ball reads. The first prediction for today is for the game between New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. This Sunday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the hardwood will be ablaze as the New York Knicks tangle with the Indiana Pacers in a crucial Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Knicks, still smarting from a tight 111-106 defeat in Game 3, are determined to widen their series lead. Conversely, the Pacers are geared up to level the playing field. Both squads bring their unique strengths and vulnerabilities to the court, which could tip the scales in today's showdown. The Knicks, flaunting a sturdy playoff form, are dropping an average of 111.9 points per game with a 46.9% shooting efficiency, alongside a formidable defense holding adversaries to 110.9 points. Their dominance on the boards has been a key factor, potentially swinging today's game in their favor. On the flip side, the Pacers top the league with a stellar 50.7% field goal accuracy, highlighting their offensive prowess. Their assist numbers speak volumes about their slick, cohesive gameplay. However, their defensive figures are less impressive, ranking 27th with 120.2 points conceded per game and bottoming out in opponent shooting percentages at 49.6%. This could be the Knicks' golden chance to capitalize, especially from downtown, where they boast a solid 40.4% success rate. Minutes before this write-up, the Knicks confirmed OG Anunoby's absence for Game 4, dimming hopes of his return. Despite being the most resilient team in the East, the Knicks are battling attrition. Jalen Brunson, although active, is visibly struggling. Knicks supporters are pinning their hopes on Dante DiVincenzo's continued hot streak and Josh Hart's relentless energy, along with the dynamic duo of Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein in clutch moments. The narrow 5.5-point spread suggests that the oddsmakers are showing more confidence in the Knicks today than in the previous game, hinting at a simmering belief in Indiana. The Pacers have finally shaken off their playoff jitters with a hard-fought victory over the Knicks. After narrowly losing the first two games, they staged a dramatic comeback in the fourth quarter of Game 3. Andrew Nembhard's buzzer-beating deep three was a game-changer, injecting a robust dose of confidence into the team. With Tyrese Halliburton on the hunt, T.J. McConnell igniting sparks off the bench, and solid rim protection from Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner, the Pacers are in high spirits. If Aaron Nesmith can avoid foul trouble and the Pacers maintain their tempo, a rout might be in the offing. The history of matchups at Gainbridge Fieldhouse shows that home court advantage significantly benefits the Pacers, along with their knack for clinching tense games on their turf. Despite both teams grappling with injuries, the Knicks are notably disadvantaged with key players like OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson out, testing their bench depth and rotation. Meanwhile, Tyrese Halliburton's condition remains crucial for the Pacers, bolstering their playmaking and scoring substantially. This game promises a clash of contrasting styles. The Knicks' robust defense against the Pacers' offensive firepower. Key to victory will be the Knicks' ability to curtail the Pacers' scoring while exploiting their defensive shortcomings. However, the Pacers' high-octane offense and home court depth might overwhelm the Knicks, particularly with New York's ongoing battle with injuries and fatigue. Key factors like the Knicks' defensive tenacity, the Pacers' home court and offensive edge, and the injury impacts will likely decide this matchup. Given the Pacers' strong home record and the Knicks' dwindling energies, Indiana seems set to claim this game. Despite the expectation of heavy betting on Indiana, the current 5.5-point line, influenced by a mix of Knicks supporters and live bettors, seems judiciously set. The Pacers, finding their rhythm at just the right moment, and with the game potentially hinging on late free throws, are poised to cover the spread. The Knicks' fading stamina could become evident once more, especially with Brunson still hampered from earlier injuries and Anunoby's absence thinning their ranks. Betting on the Pacers to cover seems a prudent move. The last prediction for today is for the game between Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. In the electrifying atmosphere of the NBA playoffs, the Minnesota Timberwolves are gearing up for a crucial Game 4 showdown against the Denver Nuggets at the Ball Arena. The stakes are sky high, with each team eager to tip the series scales in their favor. Reeling from a tough 117-90 loss in Game 3, The Timberwolves are primed to regroup and capitalize on their home court advantage. This season, they've shown remarkable resilience, notching an impressive 56-26 record. Their defensive prowess is unmatched, leading the league with a mere 106.5 points allowed per game, while offensively, they boast a solid 48.5% shooting from the field. The Timberwolves have a knack for bouncing back with vigor after defeats, as evidenced by their string of victories following earlier losses. Across the court, the Denver Nuggets are coming off a strong Game 3, propelled by Nikola Jokic's standout performance of 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. Denver's consistency is evident in their 57-25 season record, with a formidable 37.4% three-point shooting as a team. Their scoring average is a robust 114.9 points per game, backed by efficient field goal shooting at 49.6%. Recent face-offs in Minnesota show a balanced history, but the Timberwolves have often held the upper hand at home. This advantage, coupled with their stellar defensive record and the Nuggets' shaky road performances against division rivals, slightly tips the scales in Minnesota's favor. Despite Denver's impressive win in the last game, their track record on the road against Northwest Division teams has been shaky, especially in covering the spread in their last 4 outings. In contrast, Minnesota has consistently outperformed expectations in playoff scenarios, covering the spread in 8 of their last 9 playoff games. The benches could also play a pivotal role in this nail-biter. Minnesota's bench has demonstrated both depth and adaptability, elements that could be crucial in the game's critical moments. Predicting a spirited comeback by the Timberwolves in Game 4, they are poised to leverage their home court dominance and defensive acumen to dictate the pace and clinch a win. Watch for Anthony Edwards and the team to rally from their Game 3 slump with renewed aggression and focus. This contest is set to showcase Minnesota's capacity to adapt and excel under pressure. Despite Denver's impressive win in the last game, their track record on the road against Northwest Division teams has been shaky, especially in covering the spread in their last 4 outings. In contrast, Minnesota has consistently outperformed expectations in playoff scenarios, covering the spread in 8 of their last 9 playoff games. The benches could also play a pivotal role in this nail-biter. Minnesota's bench has demonstrated both depth and adaptability, elements that could be crucial in the game's critical moments. Predicting a spirited comeback by the Timberwolves in Game 4, they are poised to leverage their home court dominance and defensive acumen to dictate the pace and clinch a win. Watch for Anthony Edwards and the team to rally from their Game 3 slump with renewed aggression and focus. This contest is set to showcase Minnesota's capacity to adapt and excel under pressure. The Timberwolves are determined not to relinquish control of the series, aiming for a commanding performance to prevent the series from balancing out at 2-2. After a subpar showing in Game 3, Anthony Edwards is expected to rebound, as Denver struggles to contain this rising star consecutively. Edwards, alongside Karl-Anthony Towns, has been lethal from beyond the arc, stretching the Denver defense and creating more shooting opportunities. Despite the Nuggets' starting lineup all scoring in double figures last game, their role players are unlikely to sustain this scoring streak into Game 4. With the league's most efficient defense, Minnesota is set to adjust and thwart Denver's attempt to replicate their 117-point outburst. This game is pivotal for Anthony Edwards' burgeoning stardom, helping the Timberwolves to secure a 3-1 series lead. Here's another tip-off for today's game. Anthony Edwards to score more than 27.5 points in Game 4. The Minnesota Timberwolves, along with their star player, Anthony Edwards, are gearing up to face the Denver Nuggets at home in Game 4. Let's dive into the prop bets involving Edwards and unpack the statistics to pinpoint our top betting picks and trends for this game. Edwards leads his team, averaging 25.9 points per game. He also pulls down 5.4 rebounds and dishes out 5.1 assists, while his shooting accuracy stands at 46.1% from the field and 35.7% from three-point range, with an average of 2.4 three-pointers made per game. The odds makers have set Edwards' lines with the following predictions: points at 27.5, rebounds at 5.5, three-pointers at 2.5, and assists at 5.5. In Game 3, Edwards wasn't as impactful, scoring only 19 points, his second lowest tally this postseason. He himself acknowledged his lack of aggressiveness in a post-game interview, noting his unusual 0 free throw attempts in the 37 minutes he played, a first in his last 18 playoff appearances. Anticipating a strong comeback, it's worth noting that before Game 3, he had scored at least 27 points in 5 of his last 6 games, including 2 explosive performances of over 40 points against Phoenix, and in the series opener against Denver, He's averaged 26 points in the 4 previous encounters with the defending champions, shooting above 48%. Tonight, I foresee a stellar 30-point game from him.